Hi, Lisa. It says she became a fan. And sorry, I'm in my office, as you can see, all of your beautiful art. Actually, this way, better. There's so much more that you can't even see, and it goes all the way over here. So, anyway, I've got my coffee, everything on the floor, so if I'm, like, bending down, that's because I'm on a weird table here in the middle of my office. Hey, Jill, and hey, Annie and Bethany. Good morning, afternoon? I don't know, it's 11, so I've been up for a while. I'm sure you've been up for a while. Maybe not. Hi, Jaslyn and Rosabelle and Courtney and all of you wonderful people. Night. Yeah, if you're in the UK, it is nighttime. So, happy Friday Eve? Question mark. Lulu, what does it mean when it says it captured a moment? That's something new to me, and I didn't see these before, so I wonder if it's something new. Can you take screenshots maybe, and when you share it? I don't know. You guys, it's 2 p.m. in Florida, yep. So, yeah, I'm good. Somebody's asking how I'm doing. I'm good. I actually slept like a baby last night, although I had the weirdest dream. I dreamt that I was, like, at a hotel, and Sean wasn't there, and I was with people I didn't know, and then we got, like, ambushed and had to leave. I guess the lesson is don't eat pasta late? I don't know. It was weird, but I was happy to get out of there / force myself to wake up. Can anybody else do that? If I get really scared, I can, like, force myself awake. I'm like, this is a dream! And I, like, wake up, and I'm like, that was terrible. Okay. Oh, how long will I be live? I'll be live for 30 minutes here, and then I'm going to hop over to Patreon because I told them I would do a live stream over there, and I'd been having some technical difficulties, but I figured out how to do it through Google Hangouts and make it work over there, and I'll do that for 30 minutes, so it'll be an hour total. And you can just hop onto Patreon if you just want to donate $1. You can view the extra 30 minutes, so to speak. So, Emma Wicks is here, and Jaden, and Seraphiel, did I say that right? Seraphiel, and I May. And Rose. And she said, are you going to be on any panels at Playlist Live? I've been told I'm on 2. Which ones those are, I have not heard back yet. I actually should reach out to them again because I think they're going to be similar to the ones I was on Playlist Orlando. There's one I was on about body image and then one about mental health as a whole. And I believe I'm moderating both, but I'll keep you posted. I will tweet out. I will talk about it in a video before I go because I leave in 2 weeks. I'll see you all in 2 weeks. It'd be 2 weeks from today. I leave at like 1 p.m. on Friday. So, hooray! Oh, hey, Allison. Okay, and Courtney says 4 days till my party. Oh, got your suggestions wrote down. Yay! Let me know how it goes. I'll be thinking of you and sending positive vibes your way. Okay. Okay, Service Puppy. Oh, that's perfect that your name is Service Puppy. Do you do any work with service dogs helping PTSD and anxiety? I actually don't personally. Oh, hi, Hannah. I don't personally do any work. Oh, bless you, Sean. He's right over here. He's got his headphones in. But working with service dogs, I have clients who have them, and it definitely does help with my clients who have PTSD. I myself don't know that much about it, other than I write the letter so that they can stay in their apartment or house or whatever. If they don't own, oftentimes I have to write a letter. If they need to fly with them, sometimes I have to write a letter. I've done a lot of that, and I think that animals can definitely help and soothe. And oftentimes animals have like this sixth sense where they kind of know that you're upset or something's going on. And sometimes they'll just come and like lay on your lap or put their head on your leg or something like that. I think animals can be really great. Is following the same as fanning? I don't know. This is all very new to me as far as how YouNow operates. I know that sharing is really good. Giving thumbs up is really good. And I assume that following is fanning. I don't know. Okay, so, hi, Kimmy. I actually wrote my list of how to do the things to get it on Google Hangouts. I wrote it on the paper thing that you gave to me. Oh, that strobed. Okay. So, I'm reading. Sean gives me notes a lot during this. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Discreet Clouds says, oh, thanks, Batgirl Annie. Discreet Clouds asks, what should you do if you have a friend who has an addiction / addictive tendencies, but they keep asking you for cigarettes and other bad things? To be honest, recovery is someone's choice. That's something that someone has to do because they want to, and that they are making that choice for themselves, and it's something that they want to do. You don't have to enable them. Enabling meaning giving them anything that they want that you think is detrimental. That can be, going with them to events that you don't think are good and you don't want to be at. I would really encourage you to just set up healthy boundaries. Know that it's not your fault. You're not to blame. You don't have to keep aiding them or even spending time with them if you don't think it's healthy. And in the end, it's really their decision to make their life better. Deborah's asking about fictitious disorder. That's something I'll have to look into. To be honest, it's not something that I hear about very often or have had any clients struggle with. I'll have to look into it more. You can ask it below a Monday video, and I can definitely do another Monday video about it. Oh, Ashley Elizabeth is here. Hey, how's it going? Okay. Lisa Lucas is asking, any tips for someone with bipolar disorder in university? To be truthful, the most important thing, sleep schedule, which I know is hard in university. I'm not pretending that I went to bed regularly. Oh, thanks. Oh, Ashley's so sweet. She's my #1 fan. The truth of it is that you need to sleep on a regular schedule, even if that's going to bed at midnight and waking up at 8 or 9. Just making sure you're getting enough sleep. 7 to 9 hours is what they actually recommend for those with bipolar. And also medication, making sure that you're taking your medication at the same time every day, and that you have your support system and you have numbers to call if you feel yourself either pulling into mania or going down into depression. Those are honestly the 2 best advice things or tips I can give to you. Okay. Let's see. My friend's been acting really strange lately. She hasn't been sleeping and is convinced someone is following her around. How can I help her? You can encourage her to see someone. Sorry, I hit this table and it just jogged itself. But you can encourage her to reach out for help, because what she may be experiencing could be paranoia, could be part of a psychotic episode. We don't really know what it's about, but it's important for her to see a professional and get properly assessed. Any tips for dealing with grief? I have a whole video, Grief and Grieving, where I talk about that, so you can check that out. That should definitely help. Okay, let's see. We have, thanks, Katie K. She's so sweet. Lydia says, I'm doing a speech in November. Any tips for my anxiety? I always get a little what I call healthy anxiety before I speak in front of large crowds. And I think the #1 thing that I do is prepare, because if I'm not prepared, my anxiety is going to be like pew through the roof, because I'm not prepared and I'm worried about what the hell I'm going to say and if I'm going to fuck it up big time, right? But if I'm prepared and I've spent the time preparing, I know it's going to be okay. So there's that aspect to it. Then the second is deep breathing. Before I go on or before I'm starting to talk, I give myself a minute. And I always remind myself, I do mantras. I was actually thinking about this the other day, because a lot of me isn't I think that a lot of self-help tools sometimes from some meditation-y things, I can be like, that's just too hippy-dippy for me, or that's just bullshit. But I actually do use mantras myself, and I will have these things that I say, like in the morning when I get up, I'm like, today's going to be a good day. Today's going to be a good day. I'm going to make today a good day. And I will do this over and over because it actually helps my day become better. And so before I go on stage, or before I went on the big panel at VidCon, which I was kind of nervous about, I was like, you know what, you can do this. And what if you mess up? Nothing bad is going to happen, Katie. It's not the end of the world. And I had a little pep talk with myself, and then I'm like, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. I'm going to do great. This is going to be so wonderful. And then I just go for it. Boom, And so I think that, thanks, Julio. He said I was great at VidCon, by the way. And I think that just some of that positive self-talk can really help. Okay, let's go. I'm going to let you all know in 4 minutes, or 5 minutes. Let's do 11:15. I'm going to hop into the guest thing and have a few of you ask your questions. So get your questions ready. Make sure that they're quick and to the point, because it sometimes takes time for us to get you on and off. And so you can ask your question and then I'll answer it. So hop over into the guest blogging tab. Will I ever come back to Scotland? I hope so. I've actually been talking with Sarah, and I don't know if Sarah's on here or not. If you are, Sarah, say hello. But we've been talking about it, and I'm not sure. It's all about their funding and their ability to bring me out. Yeah, if they can, they will. I know that it's happening again this next coming March. I believe at the end of March was when we went last time. But they're contemplating having it live. So I'd stream, just like I'm doing this, I'd stream to Scotland. I'm hoping that I get to go just because I really loved Elgin. I really want to go back. Bring me back, Sarah. Bring me back. Okay. Yeah, Emma, it would be awesome. And I would definitely plan to spend a few days in London, because Sean and I, at the time, I mean, money's tight in general, right? But to spend a lot of time in London is very expensive. And so for that trip, we just went over straight to Elgin. It was just going to Elgin, and we had like a layover in London for like 24 hours. And so I think next time we'll spend a few days there so I can meet all of you lovely people that live down in that area, because I know it was hard for a lot of you to get all the way up to Elgin, because it's like all the way at the tip of Scotland. Oh, so beautiful, you guys. I hope so. Oh, New Zealand. I'd love to. In Australia, I am looking into that kind of stuff. Oh, hey, Carly and Lydia. Okay, or London, yeah. So I would definitely, I'm trying to come over to the UK, and I'll keep you posted. Obviously, you guys know as quickly as I know of any trips and plans that I'm making, so I'll keep you posted. Okay, oh, I love all the little like hand gesture things. Do you guys, are those like a certain, oh, you get them at the bottom. Okay, sorry, I'm still learning about this. Okay, other questions. Nicholas Lambert says, hey, can you let people know that Marsha Linehan is working an online DBT course? Wow, that's really cool. Hopefully it's reasonably priced, question mark? Let us know. But that's really awesome that she's doing that, because oftentimes DBT isn't available to everyone, and an online course is much needed. Oh, Glasgow Pride tomorrow. Have you ever been to Pride? Yes, I've been to Pride in LA, and that was, I don't know how many years ago. 4 years ago? I don't know. I have quite a few friends that are part of the LGBT community, and so we've done a lot of stuff with them. And I believe I went, I think it was with one of my older friends I used to work with. But yes, I've been. Just once, though. Oh, you like my wall? It's all decorated with your guys' stuff. And then this side is a picture of me at my brother's wedding. Way back in, like, 2006. Okay. Ryan is asking, what do I do to relax after a stressful day? It depends. A lot of it depends on my mood, but there's a few things that I always do. First of all, first thing I get home, I put on my pajamas. Judge if you will, but there's nothing like some cozy clothes in general. Then I usually zone out for a bit. I'll even tell Sean sometimes, like yesterday after I get back from my office and I've, it's been a long day in general, I'll say I'm just going to zone out for a bit, and I look on my my phone and I go through Instagram and just kind of zone out. And then I usually watch a TV show that I like. That's kind of what I do to relax for a bit. Sometimes I'll have a glass of wine. Sometimes I'll go out with friends if I really feel like it, or Sean and I will go out. Just because I don't feel like cooking, frankly, when I'm stressed out or overwhelmed or just had a stressful day. The last thing I want to do is cook, and I often come home hungry. Sorry, Sean. I try to bring like bars and snacks with me, but sometimes I forget. So yeah, that's kind of what I do, is just like lounge or just go spend time with good people in my life. Okay. Let's see. What's the term, Jaden's saying, what's the term for moods being up and down and changing constantly? Suggested BPD. Oh, suggested borderline personality disorder, but not diagnosed. It all depends. Oh, Dan is my #1 fan. Thanks, Dan. We have 1 more minute, so if you want to be on, just get in the guest hangout area. So up and down moods can be associated with a lot of different things. It could be bipolar disorder, and you are a rapid cycler, have cyclothymia. I have a video about that if you want to look that up. It could be BPD. A lot of borderline personality disorder symptoms are feeling really dysregulated, and we can feel overstimulated very quickly. And so our moods will be all over the place, and we often feel very out of control when we are struggling with that. And it can also be a symptom of chronic complex PTSD. I always want to say chronic because it is the same. That is the same. But the CPTSD video I have about it. Oh, thanks, Dan. That can really help as well. And so those, or not really help, but that's like something that would have those symptoms as well. And so those are probably the 3 that I would look into: bipolar, cyclothymia, rapid cycler, borderline personality disorder, and CPTSD. But I would, ask to be assessed. Have someone see you, tell them what symptoms you've been feeling. And it takes a while to be diagnosed properly, but don't give up. Oh, thanks, Dan. They said they love my YouTube videos. That's really sweet. I'm so glad. Okay, okay, we're going in. I'm going in to see the guests. Okay, Lucy J, are you ready? Get your question ready. I'm going to make you a guest. And while that loads, I'm going to look at, Carly says, what's up, Sean? She says hi. How can you control dreams, having stressful dreams and nightmares? I actually have a video about how to sleep better that I do, where I talk about creating your dream, like telling yourself a story, and you're making the story up kind of as you go. That's something I actually do if I wake up, like for instance, last night when I woke up from that terrifying nightmare, I was like, I forced myself to think of nice things. And I was like, imagine that Sean and I are driving to Palm Springs and we're going on a weekend vacation. And I envisioned us, oh, it didn't work to have her in it. I envisioned us getting in the car and going and all of that stuff. Okay, sorry, Lucy, I guess it didn't work. Let's look for Maria. Maria, I'm going to try to make you a guest. Let's see if that goes and works for you. And then you can ask your question and then I'll bump you out and answer it. Okay, oh, I am trending. Thanks, Carly. Oh, look at us. Look at Team Kenyans, Team Kenyans. Okay, hi Maria.
Hi.
What's your question?
Hi. How do you know if you're maniac? You know, you don't feel good, just good. It's not normal, but you're maniac.
How do you know if you're manic?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'll answer your question. So nice to see your face. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so Maria's asking, how do we know if you're manic? I actually was just talking with a client about this yesterday. Everyone's experience is going to be different, but there are some symptoms that you will most likely experience. Number one, you don't need to sleep. Sleep seems crazy and a waste of time, and you also aren't tired, and so you have a reduced need for sleep. The second is, oh, thanks, Kimmy. The second symptom is that you speak really quickly and you're super chatty Cathy. You're like, blah, 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 blah. I have so much to say. This is so exciting. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And so you're going on and on and on and on. Oh, what's the guest thing about? You can go into, I'll do it again right before I end in another, let's say 10 minutes. I'll hop in and take a few more guests, but I'm going to do one more now after this and then we'll get back into the chat. But so decreased need for sleep, pressured speech where you talk really fast. The third, and the one that I think most people will notice, because oftentimes you won't realize if your speech is pressured, but the third is that you will make impulsive decisions. You'll do things you would never do. Like, oh, I'm not going to ask my friend if I can borrow their car. I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to go do this. I don't know if I really should spend this money on this, but I'm just going to buy all of it. I want all of those shirts and all of that. And so you usually just make impulsive decisions and you act impulsively, and it can be really harmful to you and the people around you. So those are the three that I would take notice of, that I think are the most prevalent in mania. And there obviously are a lot of other symptoms. If you want more information on it, you can watch my bipolar 1 video. And I get a lot of questions about the difference between bipolar 1 and 2. And if you have true mania, it's bipolar 1. You can have depression and still have bipolar 1. But if you've ever had mania, it's bipolar 1.
Do you want me to put the link up in the chat window? Oh,
sure. Sean's going to put the link to the video, the bipolar video, in the chat right now.
If you slow down, the lag won't jump around as much because it skips around a little bit.
Oh, it's skipping?
Just a little bit. So if you slow it down just a little bit,
but it's still going to skip.
It won't as much. It has time to catch up. It's the frame rate.
Oh,
yeah,
that doesn't make sense to me.
I mean,
okay, let's see. Okay, Julio, are you ready? I'm going to make you a guest.
Bipolar 1.
You can ask your question. Yes, please. And I'm going to get in the chat here while we wait. Allison's asking, do I think it's impossible to recover? Oh, why does it do that? Drive me crazy. Oh, you're here.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Okay, so my question is, I have a friend who told me recently that he used to cut and he still cuts himself a lot. What kind of advice would you give for someone like that, to help him out and to make him feel better, even though he hasn't done it for a month or so now?
Okay, that's good. That's awesome. So more advice for what you can do to help. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, I'll answer your question. So I've gotten, it says, why is it, remind your YouTube viewers to come on now. I like how it tells me what I'm already doing. Okay. Ways to help someone with self-injury is, and I actually have a video about that as well that I can share, but being there, checking in with them. If your friend, obviously they've been a month without Julio, so that's awesome. And that first month is usually the hardest. For many of my clients, that's the hardest time. But I think checking in with them, and not in a way that's hey, have you self-injured, or hey, are you still cutting yourself? But just saying, hey, how are you doing? I know that you've been struggling and now you're doing well, and I just want you to know I'm here for you. And I think that's the important thing, is just saying, yeah, I'm just here if you want to talk. There's no pressure to talk about it, no pressure to address it directly, but just know that you're there for support. I think that's the most important thing. And then the second is, if they come to you a lot about it, if they tell you about it, it's okay to ask them, is there anything that you need from me? Is there something that would really help with this. And I think that's okay too, because often people just don't know how to tell you that they need something. And so opening it up and giving them the opportunity to tell you could really, really help. So those are honestly the two that I would say are the most important when it comes to being a friend to someone who's struggling with self-injury, is just being there for them, like checking in, and then asking them if there's anything they need. And I think this should be done on a periodic basis. Obviously, we don't want to do it like 5 times a day, but doing it, every couple of days. If you see them every day at school, doing it every couple of days is fine. Or if you don't see them that often, maybe once a week, checking in on them, just letting them know you're there. And I think that you all can let me know in the comments as well if you agree with that. But that's honestly what my clients who struggle with self-injury really want, is just to know someone's there and that they care. And then also, to be able to tell them like, hey, maybe if we can have like a standing date where we go and get coffee, that would be really helpful for me because I struggle to get out or whatever. So yeah, that would be my advice. Thanks so much for your question, Julio. Thanks for tuning in. Yay. Okay, so Juan Carlos is asking, long distance relationship help? It's long distance can be really tricky. And I think the important thing and the one thing to remember is that if you want to make it work, you'll make it work. And I think having times that you always talk, times that you FaceTime or, Skype or whatever is good and important. And in all honesty, I think that you should have a plan of when you're not going to be long distance anymore, because long distance relationships over the long term just can't grow. It's almost like having a plant that has, proper soil and everything, but you forget to water it and you only water it once a week, and versus it getting the proper water that it needs. I know it's a terrible analogy, but I don't think that long distance over too long a period of time is good, because it really hinders the amount that your relationship can grow. And it's great for conversation and growing and building the relationship, because when Sean and I first started dating for the first year, we were long distance. And so I think that it can be good at the beginning, but after a certain period of time, everyone's going to be different. I think it's good to be closer to each other so that you can take your relationship to the next level. Okay. Oh, Carrie Fraser became a fan. Oh, Nicholas Lambert, the advantages of interesting. Okay. And Sean is plopping in all the videos that I talk about. Okay, let's see. Okay, MMPD said, can my mental health make me physically tired? Definitely. I think I have a video about like the physical effects of mental illness. Maybe not. Maybe I should create that. But I know I've talked about it before, and how depression can sometimes feel like aching and tired and like it's hard to get up. And definitely mental illness can affect our body completely, because our brain, if you think about it, runs everything in our body. My brain right now is telling my hand to flail rapidly, and for my mouth to do what it needs to do, my tongue to form the words. And so your brain affects and makes your whole body happen. Therefore, if something's going wrong or something is off, you're going to feel it in your body, and it can make you ache. It can make you really lethargic. It can do a lot of things like that. Okay. Let's see. My therapist told me that she worries about me and loses sleep over me. Is that normal for therapists? I mean, my first gut, I'm just going to go with my gut on this. I think that she shouldn't tell you that, because then that can make you feel guilty. I just don't like what that implies. I think it's okay to say I worry about you. I say that to my clients all the time, because that is true. I wouldn't say I lose sleep, because then that means I'm not managing my mental health, because I shouldn't be taking home what I do at work. And that's just about healthy boundaries and me managing my own. But I think that it's very normal for us to worry about you, especially in session. Like when I hear you doing poorly, I know we only have 5 minutes left, and I'm like, shit, we got to figure out some kind of plan to get you through until I see you next. And so it's normal to worry, but I mean, if that makes you uncomfortable, I would express that to her. But I also think that that means she needs to do her own work. That's just me. Okay. One more question, then I'm going to go into have another guest, and then we're going to swap over to Patreon. And like I said, you can go over there, and it'll hopefully be seamless. It's going to take me like a minute or two to do. I made my list of what I need to do to make it happen. Oh, thank you, Celine. Celine Ray. I think I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right? But anyway, so just so you know. Oh, thanks. Carly put the video on chronic illness. Okay. So anyway, so if you want, I'm going to hop over, do one more question, and then I'll have a guest on. Okay, this is a good question. Emily says, when you start dating someone, when should you tell them about your mental illness? And I know I've talked about this briefly here and there, but I think that that it's important when you're comfortable. Every relationship is different and runs at its own pace. you know, some people feel extremely close and connected after a few months. Others, it can take a year. But as long as you feel that they hear you, that they care for you, and that some symptoms are going to come out, right? Like we can't pretend that things are hunky-dory and perfect when maybe we struggle with depression. There's going to be days where we don't pick up the phone, and we don't want them to think that it's something that they've done. We want them to understand where it's coming from. When your symptoms get like impossible to hide sometimes, I think that's when you tell. And I think also when you're feeling really comfortable and like they really care for you, and you feel confident that they'll not respond well, but that they won't use it against you, that it's a trusting, loving relationship, then I think I would tell. And so those are kind of the reasons that I would tell someone, and I think that's kind of the timing of when I would. And obviously everyone's going to be different, but those are just my 2 cents on it. Okay, I'm switching over to the guests, and I think, Lucy, I think we tried already. I don't know if you want to try again, but Fabian, I'm going to put you in here. I know you've been waiting. And let's see, while that connects, Eugene says, I have BPD and I'm taking meds. Must I do speech therapy also? Do you mean like talk therapy, like seeing someone? Because I would say definitely. If we have BPD, it's important for us to also work on mindfulness skills and being aware of like what's happening in our body and when our emotions are getting overwhelming. And all of that takes a lot of work in therapy. Medication can definitely help, but it doesn't actually help us heal the wound or the reason that we're struggling in general. And I think that the combination of therapy and medication is best. Oh, that didn't work. I'm sorry, Fabian. Okay, Service Puppy, let's try you. And then after this, we'll switch over to Patreon. Oh, Kimmy sent it. Oh, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
All right. My question was, do you do any work or any videos on psychogenic non-epileptic seizures?
No, that's actually a really good question. And it was on my list a while ago. I'm forgetting if it was Tiana, and I think there was another viewer of ours that asked me about it. And I feel like I would probably have to have the combination of myself and a neurologist talk about it. Because there's a lot of different things that happen in the brain that I'm not educated enough in that realm to talk about it. And so but it's something that is on my list, and I haven't deleted it off of my list. It was something I looked into, honestly, like a year ago, I want to say. But if you have information, any of you out there, as well as you, I don't want to call you Service Puppy because I know that's not your name, but
Beth.
Beth. Okay. So Beth, if you find research or articles or anything like that you'd like me to read, tweet them to me or anything like that. So that I'd love to read on it. And the more I can learn about it, the more okay I'll feel putting a video out, you know?
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's something I have looked into. It's funny you ask because it was like a year ago and I started reading about it and I'm like, oh, I felt like it was like, shoo, way over my head. But I'm happy to, keep reading until I feel like I have a full understanding. And I have a few friends that are neurologists that I might be able to ask a favor.
If I may suggest, check out Christine Muriello on YouTube. She's a...
Let me write that. I'm getting a pen.
I don't remember exactly how to spell the last name.
That's okay. I'll find her. Christine Muriello?
Yes.
Okay. I'll find it. Or her. Okay, perfect.
I'll look into on PNES.
Okay, perfect. I'll check it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, Beth.
Bye.
Okay, everybody. One last question, and then I'm going to swing over to Patreon. So, okay. Oh, people are saying, hey, people. Okay, Jennifer says, serious topics. Sorry. That's okay. Aren't we all about the serious topics? I have self-harm for a while. My therapist knows, but lately my depression is getting worse. Suicidal thoughts. I don't know what to do. Tell your therapist. I know that we can feel really scared to say it. We can struggle to talk about it in a way that we feel is getting our point across. But just the way you sent it to me, honestly, you could copy and paste that into a text to your therapist or read it to your therapist. Just letting them know that you're really having a hard time. Oftentimes for my clients, we'll go through these like peaks and wanes where they'll feel really depressed and we'll talk to their psychiatrist, potentially increase their meds for a short period of time. But also behaviorally, we'll have different techniques and things that we do. Like the goals may shift from them doing X amount of logs and working in this workbook with me to showering 3 times a week and getting outdoors twice a week for 15 minutes a piece. And like the goals can change, and there are different ways that we can help you. And so I think speaking up sooner rather than later will really, really, really help. Okay. Yes, I do have a video on first therapy session. That's actually a very popular one because a lot of people have a lot of questions. You could put it in the comments. Sean's going to put it in the chat, and then I'm going to X out. I'm going to stop, and we're going to go over to Patreon.
Maybe take a couple minutes for wind down before we switch.
Okay, let's do. So anyway, so if anybody's curious about how Patreon operates, it is, because I know a lot of you probably wonder what the hell it is. It is just a way for our community to better support me creating videos because it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy. And so Patreon is like a monthly subscription. So it charges you, I want to say like the first of every month. And you can do anything from $1. And on it, you can put in any amount you want from $1 to whatever. Oh, my YouNow top supporter Deadpool. Oh, three red crowns. I'm like, what does all of this stuff mean? But Patreon just allows me to be supported so that I can put more energy into the videos. And there are a lot of cool ones I have coming out soon that I'm actually gonna write a little bit about them today, about like what depression feels like, what anxiety feels like, and all of those. And so Patreon just allows me to spend more time on YouTube and not spend as much time. Like I told you, like I quit my full-time job at the clinic so that I could do this more and help more people. So Patreon is just a better way to support me and to support our community, and it charges you monthly. So it charges you $1 a month, essentially. So, okay, and there is an app. If you're on your phone, you can download the Patreon app for free. And then you can hop on that way. And so you just have to sign in, and then we're good to go.
Might
Okay.
do one more live cast in the Hangout, then we'll switch over.